Hello you, how are you? This is episode 378 of the video show. Today's a little bit of a different one because I'll be going behind the scenes of the Sylvian Care conference. So this is something I shot at the back end of 2022 in December, and I've always wanted to make a behind the scenes of a shoot that I've done, but one of the main problems I've found when I'm doing it is that I'm so concentrated on the work I should be doing and then being paid to be there to film, I sort of forget about, I want to do it behind the scenes. And a lot of the time, if I'm trying to do it, I shoot a few little bits and it never really comes to anything. So I just end up deleting the footage and never do anything about it. But if you've been watching the video show, you'll notice that a few months ago now, we had Laura Budd from Social Butterfly Media on, and we were talking about behind the scenes video. So I brought her along to the shoot. She followed me around all day with my GoPro. And throughout the day, I prompted her, or she asked me questions about what was going on, so we could put together this video about what it's like to shoot at a franchise conference, what kind of questions I ask franchisees, what goes on throughout the day, what I do, and what videos that I produce at the back end of it. So I film at a lot of franchise conferences, and I want to film at more franchise conferences as well. So I thought it's a good way of showcasing how it all works. So should we just get started? Enough of me waffling. Here we go. Is it weird that I get a little bit excited when I look at these? What do you think?
It's not weird. Lovely bit of kit.
They are nice. It's this one's first outing today, so we'll see how it does.
Oh.
It's brand new, well, second hand, but it's new to me. Pages now.
He's Jamie.
Hello, you alright?
Morning.
Setting up. So we're doing interviews today. So I've got to set up the interviews that will be happening sort of throughout the day, but mainly at lunch. And then there'll be a room similar to this where most of the conference is going on. So what I'm doing is I'm filming on two cameras, this one and this one. And that's because if somebody's getting interviewed, and they make a mistake, I can just sort of cut to the side camera and they feel a lot better about themselves because I can't leave a mistake. Top fun tip. Do you want to know a top tip?
Go for it.
Spare batteries. So these batteries will last me all day, but always have a spare just in case. I've got spare everything. So like microphones, got this microphone, but then also got spare microphone just in case like something happens to that one. Sound recording, I've got a sound recorder, I've got a backup one as well, so always have backups for stuff. And then for that, if that's my spare battery, I've got all these other batteries as well that work with them as well, just in case like something bad happens. Always have backups. Top tip, that's a clip that. Do you know something else?
Sure.
Organisation. Very important. So Laura, who's filming this, will know that a few years ago I didn't know where all my cables were. Now all my cables are in this tidy little cable tidy. And all of that's there. So having something like that is very helpful because I know where each and everything that I want is throughout the day. Top tip, organisation. Should we do another fun fact?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got two cameras for both of these angles, but one has got to be mobile as well. So this tripod plate fits onto my monopod just over there. So I can easily take it off and put it on quite quickly and then move around with this throughout the day. And the other one, this one, will just stay on the tripod all day. can't carry 2 cameras at once. They're not super. Try not to get the Christmas tree as well.
Try not to get the Christmas
tree. Yeah, because it just dates it. Because people watch it and be like, oh, it's Christmas. Like if people got poppies on, it dates it. But I filmed one.
I don't think there's much of it.
I did one day in the life once, and it was Halloween, and everyone was dressed for Halloween, and they just looked crazy. Kev pop out, you know what I mean. It was weird being filmed.
Now you know how everyone else feels.
I'm on edge.
You don't need to be on edge because whatever you don't want in it, you can cut out.
I feel like I need to do something funny when the camera's on. Like turn around. This is all about B-roll stuff. So I've got to do behind the scenes, sort of what's going on at the conference today. So I've got to get lots of shots of people talking and that kind of stuff, and that'll go well with the people that I interview. Like there'll be questions that people answer that can go into this video, and then I'll also ask specific questions about the conference as well. But yeah, I'm trying to build an overall look of what the video is, and that's the main thing people want from conferences. It's like what their conference looks like, but then it's also a really good chance for when all their franchisees are in the same room to interview each and every one of them, because it's really good content for their franchise recruitment stuff, and that's why I'm here. Should we go through what the questions are and why they're important?
Yep.
Firstly, who are you and where your franchise is based? I always say that's a really easy one because they've just got to remember who they are and where they live, essentially. What were you doing before you joined Sylvian Care? Before you joined whatever franchise? So that gives an idea. Is it the same sort of thing for everyone, or is everyone sort of different? Do they come from different backgrounds? What made you look into franchising? So why did they choose franchising over setting up on their own? And then you get an idea of why franchising was a good route to go down. Why they chose this franchise in particular. So that's good because a lot of people say the same sort of answer to that. And then you know that you're doing the right thing, but also people will go along the same thing.
Chris is coming now.
We'll come back to this. Yeah. We've got a next one, but we'll come back to that. 5th question next.
Should I think really things you can see that passion she's going to go because we go with the one that our mind.
So, before I was rudely interrupted by having to actually do my job, I was going through the questions. So the next question, where did we get to? Question 5, I think. What was the training like? So that just shows what the initial training was like when they joined. How hard it was, did they have to travel for it? what kind of thing was involved, how long did it take as well is a good one, because sometimes it's like 48 hours, sometimes it's like a week or 2 weeks, or sometimes they have to go to, like, I've seen people travel to America to do it, and that's really interesting to see what that training's actually like. What's the ongoing support like? So after the initial training, what does the support look like? Is the franchisor always at the other end of the phone? Is there support staff there? Do they get weekly calls from people? Are there people within the office that they speak to regularly? What's the typical day like? You can make a whole video on this question where you follow someone around for a day, but in this situation where you're at a franchise conference, just to get an idea of like what time they get there, what the day is like. This is a hard question to ask as well, because people sort of give a vague answer, so I try and ask it like, tell me what happens. You get in and then what happens, go through it all the way through, and that just shows like what a typical day is like. And then what I get all the time is like, there's never a typical day. It's just everything, it's always different. And that's a good thing as well, because like some people don't want to be doing the same thing day in, day out. And if it's something different and challenging all the time, that's a good thing to be doing as well. What makes a successful franchisee? So if they've been doing it a while, they will see things that have worked for them, and there'll be little tips and stuff that they can touch upon that will give potential franchisees that will be watching these videos ideas of what would be good and what would work. How has being a franchisee changed or impacted on your life? So today, we've had someone who was a carer for this Sylvian Care, and then they become a franchisee, and so they've seen like it from both sides of where they've been working. So they were like in the pits, not the pits, but they were in like what would the word be?
I don't know what you're talking
In the trenches. They were in the trenches, like working as a carer, and now they're like
from the ground up.
Yeah, they built themselves up. Thanks, Laura. There's a look behind the scenes of this behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes of the behind the scenes. It's like Inception.
All right, Laura, it's not all about you. So how has it changed or impacted on your life? So what were things like before? Have you got more time to do stuff now? What's your work-life balance like? So people that have just started will be like really like busy doing work. But if they've been doing it a few years, they'll be a bit more established. They'll have a bit more time to do stuff, a bit more time with family. So you'll see a difference in terms of how long people have been running stuff. And then why would you recommend this franchise? It's just for future franchisees who see this, like if there's a one bit that like really shines for them, what's this one thing that they would recommend? That's always a good question to ask. So on the back end of things, the important thing to notice is that I'm interviewing like 5 or 6 people throughout the day, but I'm asking them probably 10 questions each. So each of those interviews is a video, and then each of those questions is a video as well. And this can be for various platforms. So the short clip videos can be for Instagram or TikTok, so they can be like the vertical style, or they can be for LinkedIn or Facebook or YouTube and be like the normal horizontal style as well. So off the back of it, from each interview, you get sort of 11 videos, which I think is a lot. So it's a really good idea if you're recording your franchise conference and you've got all your franchisees in one place. It's probably the only time it happens throughout the year. It's a really good way of getting so much content throughout it. And I'm actually working with somebody else at the moment where we recorded something in October, and I've been creating stuff for them each and every month, and that's going to go on for like 6 months from October, so until March. So they will get regular content for 6 months just off the back of all their franchisees being in one place. So Sylvian Care is exactly the same. They will get so much content off the back of this. And although they have probably I only interviewed 5 or 6 franchisees, there's still sort of like 50, 60 videos they're getting off the back of that. So I think that's pretty good, really. It's time to get them done.
Yeah.
They all want to leave, but we've still got a few to get.
Add some dramatic music over this bit.
Yeah. Will we get all the interviews on time? Time will tell.
After 2 years of all work, I think from emergency videos times we had to fly in 3 hours.
So that is it for episode 378 of the video show. Thank you to Laura for coming along and filming me throughout the day. Thank you for Sylvian Care for allowing me to bring Laura to come along as well. It was something I sort of asked as an extra, is it all right if I bring Laura along to film me? And it is a bit weird being filmed yourself, so I now realise what that's like for other people. So if you've ever worked with me, I now know how it feels. So I'm hoping to create more behind the scenes videos in the future as well. So let me know what kind of things you want to see. One of the things I definitely want to do is like a studio tour here of what that's going to be and what that will look like. And then other videos that I do throughout the year. So if you've got any ideas of stuff you want to see, put them in the comments below. But until then, I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in episode 379. Bye. I'll stop waving in a minute. Bye. So yeah, I'm going now. Goodbye.